The Tale of Verdun, Magician's Unyielding Spirit. Everything began 15 years ago. I grew up in an orphanage, parentless, and all I ever wanted was to become a great magician. Eventually, I entered the magic tower as a mere worker, hoping to learn magic, but no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't become a magician. All because of that first rank growth limit. It was a magic compatibility test I took when I was 7 years old, and it simply meant I couldn't become a magician without talent. For me, whose lifelong dream was to be a magician, it was a death sentence. Yet, even then, couldn't abandon it, because my only dream was to become a magician. I would sneak in to browse spell books left in the rooms while working as a humble laborer in the magic tower. I also learned from many books in the tower's library. Although I didn't possess much magical power, I was confident when it came to intelligence. A few years passed, and finally, I became a researcher at the magic tower. A friend said to Verdun, "Verdun, you're a genius." "No, you're more than a genius. How could a regular researcher come up with something like this? This time, the entire magic tower will acknowledge you. Even the tower master, Balrog." Verdun thought to himself. It was then that I realized a truth about myself. I hadn't known. My intelligence wasn't just talent. It was on the verge of genius. Verdun said to his friend, "Thank you, Lockhart. I needed to prove this thesis before submitting it." Lockhart asked him, "So, I'm the first one you've shown this to? You haven't shown it to anyone else?" Verdun replied, "No, you're the only one I've shared it with." Verdun thought to himself, Lockhart, the only researcher I was close to, finally acknowledged me. Perhaps I'll be able to stay in the magic tower, not as a simple worker, but as a magic researcher now. That's what I thought, until he submitted my thesis as if it were his own. By the time I discovered it, it was too late. It had already reached the tower master. Verdun, holding our story card, went to the tower master and pleaded with him to believe that the thesis was his, and that it had disappeared the day before it was due, only for Lockhart to submit it under his name. The tower master said, "So, you're saying you are the author of the multidimensional continuity theory?" The protagonist thought to himself, he is the esteemed tower master, Bomern Balrog Besias. He surely won't overlook this. Verdun, happy, said, "Yes, master. If you permit me, I will explain everything from the beginning." The tower master said, "What a surprise. I never knew that among the ordinary researchers, there was someone with such talent." The tower master approached Verdun, a smile of betrayal and treachery on his face, and said, "Come to my lab in 2 days, when the moon is covered." Verdun thought to himself, if only I hadn't gone to the tower master that day. If only I had escaped the tower then. Would I have lived a normal life in the next 7 years? And so, I was forcibly imprisoned in the tower master's laboratory. A group of magicians in the magic tower tortured Verdun, yelling at him, "You despicable wretch. Tomorrow I will increase the intensity of the experiment. Prepare yourself." Verdun thought to himself, I became a worker by day and a test subject by night. I was asked to create a magic circle and prove the validity of my thesis, to inject drugs into my veins and observe the reactions myself, to invent a new potion and prove its effectiveness, and to dedicate my life to the magic tower. Even if I tried to reveal the truth, no one would believe me. All I received in return were threats from the tower master to kill those I loved. Verdun, tired from the torture and experiments, said, "It's all over. What can I do now?" He remembered the girl named Ruvelin, when they played as children, and how he promised her they would become great magicians in the future. He thought to himself, if only my growth potential had been a little higher, would things have turned out differently? I confess, it's all over. As he was in the dark, in a corner of the gloomy prison, he saw a black ant at the prison gate from the inside. At that moment, he heard a voice. That voice again. He heard it every time he was subjected to experiments. He no longer knew. He had no strength left. Perhaps it would be better if he just died. A voice, he didn't know if it was from the ant or something else, said to him, "Really? But that's not your true feeling, is it? Not yet. It's not over yet, is it? For revenge and survival. Hold on, be patient, and endure time after time. Then you will be reborn, so you won't be trampled on again, and so you will possess great power that will exceed your limits. Verdun thought to himself, his morale restored. Yes, it's not over yet. I must hone my blade of revenge, which I've been sharpening for the past 7 years with everything I have, until it's complete. If only I can solve that last problem that I'm powerless against. Against the ultimate power. Just having a smarter mind isn't enough. If that's the case, then I simply have to defy my destiny. I will redefine the theoretical framework and complete the body formation method never seen before. The heaven-defying theory. Tomorrow, I will exceed my limits. Tomorrow, I will shatter my restraints with the long-awaited sky-defying theory, which will allow me to reconstruct my body. It was only truly completed when I embraced death. Now, all that remains to prove the theory is that ancient artifact, which can allow me to cast a spell just once, even if my magic-less body shatters in the process. Tomorrow evening will reclaim my freedom. The next morning, the day's plan is to be put into motion. He heads to his workplace. Someone shouts at him, "You scumbag. It's time to clean the chemistry lab. Don't just stand there idly. Go and scrub the bloodstains and mend the wounds." All this for a pathetic, simple experiment. The festival is almost here, so don't even think about slacking off. Do you hear me? Answer me. He replies, yes. He then goes to clean the chemistry lab. Suddenly, Ravelin enters and asks him, "You cleaning alone?" Verdun replies, "Ravelin, what brings you here?" She says, "I came to bid a friend farewell before leaving." He says, "Right. You mentioned you're going to study abroad in the city of magic, Varenti. That's a special privilege granted only to the tower's most prominent talents. Congratulations. I hope things go well for you." She says, "Verdun, my offer still stands. Come with me to Varenti. Unlike this place, you won't have to deal with arrogant fools who underestimate you. Here, you might find a new learning opportunity in the city of magic. Don't misunderstand. I just want someone to talk to. That's all." Verdun says, "Ravelin, I'll stay here. I'll write you letters." Afterward, as he watches her from above in a horse-drawn carriage, he says, "Ravelin, you know nothing. You don't know what has been happening here. You don't even know what I've been through all these years. Yet, the one thing I'm grateful for is that you're not involved in my plan." On the day of the Magic Festival, one of the most globally recognized holidays, commemorating the construction of the first magic tower and celebrating the revival of magic, it is the tower's busiest day. Once the Magic Festival begins, all high-ranking mages depart to major cities, leaving behind only low-ranking mages. Verdun knocks on a mage's door and asks to enter the room. The mage says, "What brings you here at this hour?" Verdun replies, "The tower master asked me to clean the treasure vaults." The mage tells him, "You should have obtained prior permission. Didn't you even think of that, you pathetic fool? You may enter, but dare not scratch or lose a single thing." Verdun replies, "Yes, director." He then descends into the treasure vault and turns on the lights. He says, "Good. I've activated the artifact to block sound." He then goes to the bottom of the vault to reach one of the artifacts protected by a powerful magical enchantment. The second circle, a fabricated artifact for which the tower master spent an astronomical amount of money to create. It allows a mage to perform triple spell casting and temporarily awakens the holder's latent talents. To execute my plan, I need this staff. To get it, I must disable the protective magic circle. It's a level 7 enchantment, created by the tower master himself. I've spent the last 7 years studying how to break it. He attempts to break the enchantment or protection, saying, "Oh, tower master, the magic circle you're so proud of, I will destroy it myself." The story shifts to the mages on duty guarding the power source outside. One says, "The others outside are enjoying the festival, while we're stuck guarding the power source." The second replies, "Well, there's nothing we can do. We drew the short straw, after all. That's why I endure it silently. If it were based on skill, I would have chosen otherwise, of course." Suddenly, Verdun enters. One of them exclaims, "What is this?" "Verdun, isn't it? Perfect timing. Go get us more wine." Verdun goes to get them wine, and before leaving the room, he pulls out the staff after breaking the curse that protected it, or the enchantment. He brandishes the staff towards the guard who is guarding the treasures and magical artifacts. The guard says, "Verdun, are you insane?" Verdun replies, "A reaction I didn't expect at all." The guard, annoyed, says, "How dare a lowly wretch try to harm a mage? Let me fix your foolish brain first." He uses his technique, a third rank spell, Bloodwave. The protagonist retaliates with a third rank spell, Earth Spear, which penetrates the mage's spell, repels his attack, and severely wounds the mage. The guard mage says, "How did you manage? How can someone like you, just a first rank, use magic?" Verdun says, "Are you surprised that a mere lab rat can cast magic? This is what happens when you manipulate people too much. You and the tower both." He then kills him and the guards who were guarding the power source. He approaches and says, "This is the first time I've seen it up close, the magic tower's power source. It took 7 years to reach this point. Now, using the mana from the power source, I will begin the sky-defying challenge. If I truly fail, I don't know what will happen to me, but if I don't try, I'll never know." He creates a spell, or one was already there. He goes to the center and reconstructs the body, the sky-defying challenge, and casts some of the spells he learned over the past 7 years. A huge energy explodes, illuminating the sky and the lands near the magic tower. In one of the mountains, there was the head of the magic tower, or the magic tower master. He says, "This enormous magical power is energy from the power source, meaning someone has infiltrated my magic tower.